What hobbies have people started over the pandemic lockdown? Altai-style throat singing. I've learned and forgotten how to solve the Rubik's Cube. Proper seasoning of cast iron pans. Yeah, past year has been a fucking blast/us. Quilling. Is playing World of Warcraft a hobby? If so, that lol. Making soap and candles. Decoupage. Macrame. Sewing. Exercise. Being out in nature. Bird watching. Cooking from scratch. Board games. Something creative and fun with the kids. Rocketry. I have become obsessed with space, rockets, payloads. I have designed rockets and satellites. I'm building a large model rocket now. Apparently owning dogs. I didn't specifically start, but I continued to study Korean after like 2 years of not doing so. My fiance has recently been teaching me some more advanced self-defense. Initially he taught me a little bit, but I stopped being interested, but regained an interest in it. I picked up my depression again. Trading stonks. I always loved exploring and reading about history. I started reading more and more during this lockdown. Getting fat. Exercising. Jewelry making. I use 0.5mm elastic and 1mm size beads. I've made necklaces, bracelets and rings. Got the stuff from Amazon, under 20 pounds. I've been trying to learn psychology a bit. Drawing my own skin and character concept arts for Mortal Kombat 11. Growing bromeliads and orchids with exotic blooms. Drawing traditionally and forgetting how to draw well digitally. Though now I've secured myself the grand title of hentai artist, as my geography teacher always asks about my art during online lessons, and I just show it. I got into cooking since I don't have to commute to work anymore, so I actually have some time in the evening. And it's really fun to realize when you've gotten better, and when you kind of get the sense for things, what fits together, how much to use, how long, how hot, etc. And it fits perfectly with my other lockdown hobby, that is drinking. I started doing old hobbies that I haven't done in years. Loom knitting has been super relaxing and productive. Low committal project, as I can put it away and start again, anytime. Decoupage has been fun with great results, just gotta be down to spend some time and get a little messy, maybe that's just me, smiley face. And polymer clay sculpting is always on standby. I have made a backflow incense burner and several trinket bowls and earrings, since pandemic started, smiley face. Baking. Walking. And weed. I bought a used piano and started playing again. I'm not nearly as good as I was in high school, but it's starting to come back. Currently working on a Moana medley on the evenings since my kiddo is obsessed with the movie. First time I used Netflix, had access to family account. It was okay. I have been skateboarding a lot recently. I started creating a podcast about CZ, which also includes Zoom interviews with foreigners who relocated to the Czech Republic, at least one way how to meet new people these days. I adopted a dog just days before the pandemic. After moving to the big city from the countryside, I rediscovered the majesty of nature overall and forests more specifically. So I take very long walks, preferably in places without any other people. I've gotten an interest in self-sustainable prepping, like cultivating, picking mushrooms and those kind of things. Now moved back to the countryside and looking for a little house to buy so I can delve deeper down the rabbit hole. I started streaming video games. I don't do it for views or cash, but because I was furloughed for a long time last year and I was putting so much time into gaming that it was getting stale. With the added incentive of doing stuff for my stream, trying to make it look good and trying to generate content, I've found the enjoyment in gaming again. Just taking care of pets, not dogs or the general pets, but hairy ass tarantulas. Intentionally farting on the cat to see if she'll react. Also writing more physical notes/cards to mail. The two are unrelated. So far. Photography. Always been into it, but purchased my first decent camera, Fuji X-T30, and dived into the theory of it during lockdown to make my walks more fun. Started making YouTube videos. I do a newscast where I rattle off entertainment headlines, and another where I sample fast food. It amuses me and my 20 subscribers. Waking up exactly at the time you are supposed to be at school. I jumped really hard into series. I mean, since last March, I watched 13 series plus 5 minis. Pyrography. Disc golf. Always found it neat, but I absolutely fell in love with it once I went and played. Day and night drinking. I always wanted to be able to juggle 3 balls. Never been able to learn it. So during the first lockdown I gave it one more shot. This time it finally clicked. Totally useless, but I enjoy doing it. Cooking. Restaurants closed, can't eat out all the time, so make your own meal. Surprised to see so many spices gone from the shelves. Guitar. Best choice ever. I really should have started playing guitar earlier. Staring at my wall hoping for the day I hear it's legal to go back outside. Actually painting my Warhammer models. Started coding websites, and I've set myself the goal of reading at least 52 books this year. Other than that, I've found that I spend more time learning new recipes for cooking. I'm looking for a hobby. Exercise and yoga was the thing I've started, but I'm getting pretty depressed and anxious for a couple of months now. I don't want to do anything. Of course I need to cook and clean, but that's it. Browsing AskReddit. Chess really took off this past year. Any project they said they would finish but never did. I started running last summer. Went from barely being able to run a mile to finishing my first half marathon. Now we're training for another one this summer, smiley face. Disc golf has absolutely blown up, and for good reason. It's a great way to get outside and get some fresh air and exercise, and it can be very cheap to get into. Anyone can shoot me a message if you are looking to get into or have any questions. I started collecting vinyl records when concerts disappeared. Masturbating. I learned guitar. Fly fishing and fly tying. I've been talking to people at the local shop, and they said it's caused a huge spike in the hobby because people have more time for it. I dived into our/headphones. My first good pair arrives tomorrow, and I'm already looking at more. Playing guitar. FPV drone freestyle, I really enjoy it. I picked up tea to slowly start parting ways with alcohol. It's a tough road, but it's possible once it becomes habit. I started to draw. I started playing and recording music. A few friends and I were even able to jam over video chat, which was a lot of fun and made for some unexpected moments, mainly people popping in to say hello and being assaulted with music. Good times! I started learning German after watching Dark on Netflix at the beginning of quarantine last year. I just love the way it sounds for some reason. I also started drawing again and got into making music smile. It's been a good year for my creativity actually. Before the pandemic hit, I'd started making meads and a few distillations. As it raged on, I'd moved into ciders and beer. I never wanted to get to beer, it takes a lot of space with the equipment. Now I'm looking at alternatives to kegs. I don't have the space. I'm making cooking wines. I've always got something brewing. Nothing really, I've just been wasting my time playing online games I don't even enjoy and I will never be good at. I guess I spend a lot more time cooking. Eating. All the things. I've seen a lot of people out disc golfing and fishing for the first time. Bread making. It's very satisfying, cheap to get into, and you get delicious bread out of it. I recommend John Kirkwood for learning about it. I started recording more music in my spare time, and my girlfriend got me into painting tutorials. I can never draw anything besides a stickman, but surprisingly the tutorials are super fun and really easy. It's pretty therapeutic. If anyone is interested, the channel on YouTube is Let's Make Art. I've seen more new players in FFX of over the last 6 months than I have in a long time. I got into cooking, and I also got really into Chinese music and TV, so I started to study Mandarin. I'm really early on in the process and can only recognize a word/character here and there, but damn is it rewarding when I can understand what I'm listening to. Self-harm, sewing, and chess. 1. Cooking. 2. Gaining weight. 3. Went back building model kits again. Eating, an even bigger appreciation for Jen. Painting Age of Sigmar minis. Knife collection. Embroidery. Mindless, irritating, and it looks pretty. My clothes keep getting more and more chaotic. Binging Netflix, but also board games with my husband. Coin collecting, but there's the coin shortage which doesn't help. Cooking, eating, gain belly fat. With